Welcome back to Function Friday. My name is Courtney Morris with Natural Wellness Physiotherapy, located here in Optimal Performance in East Wichita. We're going to finish up our series on the squat today, looking at mobility lower down the chain, kind of ankles and knees. What we'll see a lot of times is that people will have maybe good hip flexibility, and they'll be doing external rotation, they'll be doing their hip hinge, they'll be doing all the parts that we talked about before, and they'll get to this point. So they'll get down to here, and then they kind of run out of room and they flex their trunk. They're like, oh, look how far down I'm going. Like, what a deep squat, right? And they're really not that much deeper than they were, a third of the way down, right? They're just bending the hip. A lot of times that is an ankle mobility issue, right? There's a couple good ways that we can kind of determine that if we have an ankle issue. One, put your feet all the way close together, right? Put them as close as you can. And then can you get your butt down to the ground, right? Or down to your heels as you're coming down here, right? If you can't, without falling backwards, then you have an ankle mobility issue, right? So there's a couple different things that we can do to work on this. If you have that stiff ankle, it's going to put that knee out past your toe, and then again, you're working on some patellar tendonitis or some other issues as well too. So a couple different things that you can do. The simplest and the most basic is, while you're working on this ankle mobility, drop a couple 5-pound weights underneath your heels, and this is a temporary solution. We're not going to do this permanently, but this is a temporary solution to kind of to a chronic problem, and it's going to elevate you a 1/2 inch or a 3/4 of an inch. Good. And then we start doing our squat, and now we have increased depth because we're taking some of the load off that Achilles. We're taking some of the restrictions out of play there. So that's the short and the easy one to do. But a couple other things that we can do is we can start mobilizing those tissues, right? A really good one, get elevated up on a bench. We're gonna track this knee forward and then out to the side, right? We're gonna keep our heel in place as we're coming through here. Now, if you want to, you can add a band around to the top of your foot to go through here, but you're working it through this plane here. This is where most people are deficient in this dorsiflexed position, right? So if you got a big squat day coming up, make sure that your ankles are lubricated and that they're moving well. The other issue, check both sides. You might have one side that's stiffer than the other. If you do, work the one that's a little bit stiffer for a little bit longer. The other option that you can do is you grab that kettlebell and you kind of get yourself into that goblet squat position. You use a little bit of weight here and kind of work your way around in there on your ankle. Apply a little bit of extra pressure to help mobilize that ankle. So if you have additional questions or comments, leave them below in the comment section. But that'll kind of conclude our squat series. Until next time, Courtney Morse, Natural Wellness Physiotherapy.